Hello and welcome to First Impressions. This is a show where every week my co-host Dash Hooper and I evaluate an album we've never heard before. And after playing it, we take notes, rate it in a variety of categories, and let you know our thoughts. And tonight, we are looking at the 1981 album Discipline by King Crimson. And we have a special guest. So, Ray, welcome back to the show.
My pleasure.
Always fun to talk music with you, and maybe I will fulfill some of your happiness tonight because I have some things to say. Well, and I apologize to King Crimson fans in advance.
I may have some decals to add to that cake of grievances.
There's going to be let's just cut to the chase. There's going to be a lot of grievances
with this album. Hashtag blame Dash.
Hashtag blame Dash.
This was his
my
pick.
choice.
I mean, I have picked some bad ones. I can't say that all my picks are winners, but you know, I'll just go for the blame Dash category on this one. When I pick the next clunker, then it can be blame me, and I will fully take responsibility because you want to pick something you would never venture into. And I can say that King Crimson is an area of music that I would never explore on my own. And exploring it was interesting because okay, cool. I've never played a King Crimson song, let alone album in its entirety. So now I can say that, you know, if that was on my bucket list, it wasn't. I can check that box. But, you know, it's a box that was meant to stay unchecked, and now it's become checked. And am I better for it? I don't know. Tune in, find out. All right. So.
I will say this.
All right. Let's hear it.
I will say
defend yourself, sir.
I can't. There is no way tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're paying attention, there's no way tonight that I can defend myself from this. So if they attack me, just let them attack me.
All right. So do your best. All right. So let's start with the history of the artist. And King Crimson has been around a long time. They started in 1968 and were formed by guitarist Robert Fripp, who is the one and only constant in King Crimson through all of their different incarnations. Robert Fripp is that one person who remains with the band, even though the rest of the members flip and the styles change, but Robert Fripp is the constant. And the original lineup also had drummer Michael Giles, bassist and vocalist Greg Lake, multi-instrumentalist Ian McDonald, and lyricist Peter Seinfeld, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. And they released... Yeah. Well, the original, because they released their original album In the Court of the Crimson King in 1969, and that one is considered one of the first most important prog rock albums, and it blended jazz, rock, and avant-garde influences, and it has the track 21st Century Schizoid Man, which I think I've heard that. Don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. But already in the beginning, there was the band was falling apart, and the lineup flipped quickly. So from 1970 to 1972, members left. Robert Fripp remained. The rest left. They released 3 albums, and there was a lot of experimentation, jazz, classical, mellower textures, and just like I said, just constant lineup changes. I could have gone through them all, but we don't have that much time, and
there was a lot of experimentation, and there was also a lot of tinkering with the music as well.
Yes, a lot of that in those early versions, and even the later versions. I think that's all like Robert Fripp. Experimentation and tinkering is also a constant. So from 1972 to 1974, they kind of settled in on a more, I guess, they locked in a lineup that stuck around for a little while. And they brought in musician John Wetton, Bill Bruford, who was formerly of Yes, and David Cross. And this is where they were kind of releasing heavier, and this is a lot of their more acclaimed work. So they released 3 albums under that version, and then broke up again in 1974. So Fripp said that it's over forever and ever, and famous last words, just like the Who have been doing farewell concerts since 1981. Robert Fripp's been declaring that this band is dead as long as I've been alive. So yeah, and it's not over, because here we go. Our version that we're going to talk about is the 1981 reunited version that brought in Robert Fripp, Adrian Belew, Tony Levine, and Bill Bruford, and they released 3 albums with that group and stayed together for 3 years. That seems to be kind of his thing. And this one featured more interlocking guitar patterns, new wave, funk influences, and complex rhythm. And I know that there's been like a cover band that had members of this version of King Crimson, and they brought in Danny Carey from Tool to do the percussion. And you got to have someone who can really drum to pull this off. But whatever negative I'll say about the album, the percussion work is stellar. I mean, it is just something else. But there's that. After this, they broke up again for quite a long stretch from till 1994, and that's when he came back again. And at this point, you have Robert Fripp and 6 other members, and that's the version that I saw live one time, because they did a dual headlining tour with Tool. So that's the one version of this band that I actually saw. I guess kind of spoilers to our history of the band, but then from 2000 to the 2010s, he just did more experimental offshoots of the band, letting them do lots of improvisation with new ideas. And then in 2013, reactivated the band again with multiple drummers and focused on reinterpreting the old material. So this is where he goes back and reinterprets songs that they've already recorded. I think I accidentally got a few of those that popped up when I was playing this. And I mean, I guess if you're going to record your stuff again, why not? Lucas, your material, enjoy yourself. What am I going to say? So yeah, it's highly influential for the prog rock groups. It was alongside Pink Floyd and Genesis. It was kind of, and I guess Rush later on, bringing into that prog rock, and bands like Yes. This brought in math rock and influenced a lot of bands. But yeah, I mean, if you love it, good for you.
I would say it definitely influenced Talking Heads.
Oh no, I'd say it's kind of the flip side, because Talking Heads came out in 1978, and this was before the Talking Heads rehash version we're listening to of King Crimson, and also took one of Talking Heads' touring guitarists and put him in this band. So
how dare they?
Yeah, but yes, kind of keeping our Talking Heads connection going. So let's dig into the history of this album. So Discipline is one of the new, like we were talking about earlier, the band broke up multiple times and reformed. And this was where he wanted to come back. Robert Fripp wanted to come back and kind of redefine the band's sound. And initially, the band was going to be named Discipline. He didn't want to release it under the King Crimson name, but decided that after this 7-year hiatus, instead of just renaming the band, he would continue it under the name King Crimson, but bring in this newly reformed lineup with Adrian Belew, who worked with David Bowie and the Talking Heads, could have worked with the Tom Tom Club on their big hit, and wasn't available when they were recording. And then that hit blew up and made a lot more money than I'm sure his King Crimson ever did. So he missed that one, unfortunately. Tony Levine played bass, and then Bill Bruford was also part of King Crimson before and played in Yes. So you can hear kind of like the prog rock extended universe, and all these guys kind of move around with each other. So he wanted to call it Discipline because he wanted the music to be strict interlocking music that, developed under this new name, but then decided to call it King Crimson, even though the sound was different. Although, I guess if you're a King Crimson historian, you'd know the different sound. I don't. I know one song. I knew one song before this, and that's about where it goes. So it was recorded in early '81. It was their 8th album, and he wanted to develop this 2-guitar language where the parts of the guitars kind of interlocked and also kind of playing alongside complex polyrhythms with minimalist repetition. So yeah, and also bring in funk elements, new wave elements, and world music elements. And yeah, generally didn't sound anything else like anything else in the King Crimson catalog, which means maybe I will explore some more of the catalog if this isn't what it's like. But no, I won't. I'm not gonna lie. I got too many albums I generally want to listen to think about. Let me try something else by this band. So
I have some magic beans to sell you if you believe that.
I'll grab some of those.
All right, give me 24 hours, I can make some magic with those beans.
Right. Yes. All right. So reviews for the album. At the time, it got decent reviews. It was looked at by it was hard to find actual early reviews, but Rolling Stone gave it 3 stars. They praised it as ambitious musically, but at times too experimental, and was hoping that with the skills of this band that hopefully they would find a way to kind of marry the musical experimentation with something poppier and more enjoyable. Now they've reassessed it and gave it 4.5 stars, as Rolling Stone does. Dash and I have seen too many Rolling Stone backtracks on their initial review and pretends that now we know for sure it's great. But the retrospective reviews are very strong. Even our guys Pitchfork gave it an 8.8. Chris Gow, our normal grump, gave it a B, but in his B review, he was talking a lot of trash about it, calling it like their singer who rips off David Byrne from the Talking Heads, which that's how I know Talking Heads would have come first, because he was talking trash about that and saying that Robert Fripp needs to hire a proper singer sometime, but the music was good enough that he gave it a B. But yeah, it was the meanest B review ever, but that's how Robert Christgau does it. He's always grumpy, and that's why I love him.
Yeah, that's why I love him.
But yeah, the reviews now, retrospectively, they're very strong. It's looked at as a kind of a pioneer of math rock and post rock, and it's influenced huge amounts of bands. I think Pitchfork rated it in the top 50 albums of the 1980s, but that's just Pitchfork. We're gonna retrospectively review it and call it the greatest. If they had done it in real time, I doubt they would have had such nice things to say, but that's also Pitchfork, who's had to backtrack on some of the things they've said to different albums. But yeah, that is the history of the band. Anything I missed? Anything you'd like to add?
There's nothing I'd like to add.
All right.
I think that covers pretty much the history. I don't think you're really missing anything there.
Yeah, I mean, I try to. It's always kind of a brief one, but sometimes I find books and things like that I can read. This time I didn't. I just went with the basic, internet search and grabbed up what I could. And it seems that Robert Fripp is kind of the one piece of this band that's always there, that musicians look up to. I know Tool really loves King Crimson. That's why they brought him on tour, and a befuddled crowd when King Crimson was up there doing their thing. That much I'll have to say.
I can imagine. Yeah, I looked it up. Yeah, Tool is one of the biggest bands influenced by.
Yeah, and Tool found a way to kind of make it also work with pop style, although the last two Tool albums I wouldn't consider pop. They definitely find more of that prog rock influence, but Maynard can sing. I guess that's the hugest difference.
That's probably the bit.
Maynard has a spectacularly good voice, and they're going to showcase it so it doesn't end up becoming, David Byrne clone chatting over stuff. But we'll save our bigger thoughts for later. So what is your history with the band? So Ray, what's your history with King Crimson?
Absolutely zero.
Got it.
I am an 80s baby and a 90s kid. So
Okay.
this one, a little before me,
Mhm.
other than the last week or so, not on my radar.
Got it. All right. What about you, Dash?
Well, yeah, 70 as a 70s baby and an 80s kid. Yeah, I there's a reason I probably didn't ever know of this album because it would not have crossed my radar. So zero. I picked it because I was definitely looking for some prog rock stuff for us to listen to.
Yeah.
And I again, I'm gonna after the show is over, I will be going in and having some repentance and probably some like slashing of the back with the whip,
Some self-flagellating.
self-flagellating, and crying myself to sleep probably tonight.
Huh.
But yeah, that's my history. I just none. I didn't even. I don't think I've even heard of a song of theirs before.
Yeah. Yeah. So wow, that's saying something. I think I knew. Well, for my history, it was 2001 that Tool toured with King Crimson, and I was one of the befuddled masses watching the King Crimson set, thinking, "Damn it, when's Tool start?" And that was about as much as I enjoyed King Crimson at that time. At that version of King Crimson was purely instrumental, which I would call a plus,
No
considering
vocals.
none at all. They did it
Interesting.
purely instrumental, and it was Robert Fripp. They had a bassist who was playing a guitar bass combo, which was cool to watch. I'll give it that much. I mean, musically, I was impressed. Their drummer was very strong, but it was just kind of waiting to see Tool, and since it was a double headlining show, they played a full set. So I think King Crimson played an hour and change, and then I think they came out and played with Tool. I don't remember it. 2001. My memory isn't entirely on that one, so yeah. Let's see.
A lot has happened since 2000.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm kind of looking. I can actually find it on Setlist FM. And yes, they played after an intermission because Tool doesn't really do encores. They'll just go out for a little 20-minute intermission or something like that. And they did play a song with Robert Fripp called Soundscapes. So that was them just kind of noodling from what I remember around. And yeah, I don't remember it for anything. I just remember that I knew Robert Fripp came out at some point during the Tool set, and yeah, that's about as much as I have history with King Crimson. So yeah, I guess now we'll dig into the part that will be more controversial. So, what are your overall thoughts on this one? What are your overall thoughts, Ray?
Well, I think we're on the same page. So I don't know if we could call this controversy unless there's a cult following that's going to put a target on our backs. But to be honest, you've already mentioned, and we've kind of alluded at the vocals. The vocals are harsh. I compare the vocals to a band known as Passion Pit.
I know them. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
There's a song called, what is it? Little Secrets by them.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in that song I enjoy, except when anything comes out of that singer's mouth.
Right.
I immediately, if I had control of all the instruments and the vocals separate, if I could mute that, I would enjoy that song.
Yes.
This is kind of in the same avenue for me. I do respect you use the word ambition, and I think that does apply. I do respect trying stuff. Just because it doesn't work doesn't mean it's bad to try stuff. The result wasn't appealing to me.
Yeah.
But for them to try some different stuff, I mean, like the opening song they're playing some cool stuff, but the guy's talking the whole time. I mean, there are times when that works. Lots of old style country music where they'll stop in the chorus as a guy now talking about the thing they just sang about. And then it goes back to singing. My father used to call that old time rap, by the way.
Old time rap.
But anyways,
Dave Allen Coe did that a lot, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's times it worked. This time, I think it fell short rather. One song, where's my notes? Thalahun Ginjit.
Thalahun Ginjit, yes.
Yeah.
I when it starts, I like it. And then as it goes, it sounds like the instruments are all playback speeds slightly off from each other.
Yep.
And again, experimental. They're trying something there. I can't focus on anything because I'm trying to rearrange it in my head to make it work, and it just doesn't. But I liked how that one started. But I could go on and on it specifically.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
hit that when we have our skip songs.
Yeah, right. So I give a lot of credit for, like you said, ambition. They're trying stuff. You throw things against the wall, see what sticks. This one, just nothing really stuck for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that song was interesting when I was researching it, and it's Heat in the Jungle, and it's an anagram. And while they were in the plane, they had Scrabble tiles spelling heat in the jungle, and they just kept rearranging them until they found something that was singable. So I thought that was interesting because I was thinking, like, is this some different language or something? But no, it's just Scrabble tiles. And then the whole talking section was a recording that was made when one of the members was he was held up on the street, and he was telling the story about the holdup, and they thought, let's record this and put it on the album. I'm like, are you that hard up for lyrics that you're just going to record that and put it on the album?
Yeah.
So it was an interesting origin, but then I thought they're just fucking around.
Now I think that was frame by frame too. No, that wasn't frame by frame.
When you described that there, Ed, you reminded me of one time playing Cards Against Humanity. I saw the point card was Kanye West new album. He raps to sounds of, and then the winning card was Kanye West.
That's funny.
That's when you described it. I thought of that right there.
That's funny. That sounds about right. Yeah, and that's just. Every time I'm listening to this album, I think of Fight Club when they're like, "Oh, you're trying to be clever. Well, how's that going for you?" It's like, this whole album is, how's that going for you being clever?
It's like that one song by Buckethead where halfway through it, this guy with a really weird voice starts talking about how you make head cheese.
Yeah,
just random talking in it, like, okay,
Yes, yeah. So, all right. So, what are your overall thoughts, Dash?
I kept picturing. This may be because I'm sick, so I kept picturing the bad guy from Cobra, like he's sitting there getting his knives ready, and this is what this album reminds me of. Like, this is a bad guy album, and this is a montage for bad guys when they're getting in their weapons ready and they're tuning up their car. I don't know why. Again,
I love it. I love it.
Oh, I have some imagery for you too. I got some couch metaphors also. So
just Destro and Cobra Commander.
Yes, Destro and Cobra Commander are having
in a discussion.
Yes,
while playing music.
God, it was.
I love it.
Sartan's drumming.
I guess if you're okay with if you're looking for like experimenting, this is the album for you. This too much distortion for me at times, and then it's the talking. When we come to favorite lyrics, you're just gonna have to skip me because there's no. Now, if we talk about, there was a couple of things I liked. There's one song I really like, and we'll talk about that. But overall, I know people will say, yeah, it's prog rock, but to me, it didn't seem like prog rock. It just seemed like
it's math rock. I would say that more.
Yeah, this is a term I love this show for this reason because I've learned shoegazy and things and terms I never would have learned. So I like that. I didn't know what math rock was until obviously this album. So I get that.
Insane amounts of time signatures on every song. I mean, if you're a guitar geek, you're gonna be loving the
Yeah,
it's from 4-3 to 12-1. It's like, I don't know. That's like speaking French to me. I'm missing all that.
Yeah, if you're a guitar guy, this is probably a really good album for you to sit and listen and learn how to do this. And you're right, the percussion that you have to be the best drummer in the world, I think, to keep up with some of the change in tempo things that they did with this. And I did like that. I did, and there's certain things I liked about certain songs, but overall encompassing, I don't know why I chose this. It's just, I mean, somebody, I looked up one of the things. I looked up somebody's review, and it said the first time you listen to it, it's kind of nerve-wracking, but by the fifth time, you kind of understand what they're doing. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm
getting to the second time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get to the second one. And I don't know what Pitchfork and Rolling Stone are thinking. That's all I'll say.
Well, Rolling Stone, like I said, the first time they did it, it wasn't quite so glowing, and they've scrubbed that one from their website. But the internet, the Wayback Machine on the internet, you can always find the things that they said and try to hide. I mean, you can't find their original review of Songs in the Key of Life, for example, where they were not so nice to it because they want it to. They don't want that to exist. They want it to exist as this is the greatest album. This is, one of our top 10 albums of all time. Not that we were highly critical of it, but Rolling Stone has lots of those whoops moments.
Somebody, Rolling Stone has it in their top 30 or top 15 and I'm just like, I don't know.
I don't know where it ranks. I didn't see I don't think it's in their top 500. Maybe it's the top 30 prog rock albums, and that would make sense because it's like that's a weird category if you were going to do it that way.
Well, at least you agreed it didn't make dollars, just cents. So good job.
This is from the Village Voice, Paz and Jop. In the original critics poll, Village Voice, Paz and Jop, it landed number 35 album of 1981, which is solid. But not so I can I can understand. Yeah, that's not solid
of the year.
Year, that's not solid at all. So
that's decent. And then Village Voice was kind of the Pitchfork of its time.
Yeah,
they weren't looking at what big artists are out there doing things. They always were looking at kind of the smaller, the underground, and I think that's why it would rank that because they're not looking at Hall & Oates or something, for example, in 1981, something that would be out there doing it. But yeah, what did he say? I'm pulling up his review because it made me laugh. He said, all right, it's amazing how somebody who gabs as much as Robert Fripp gets fucked up by words. Maybe he's afraid to take on a real singer because he knows singers take over bands. So he hires Adrian Belew, who between his David Byrne impressions and his John Welton impressions and his man in the studio candid microphone shtick damn near takes over anyway. Musically, not bad.
Does that mean he's walking around with giant shoulder pads in his suit top and his head's bobbing around like this?
Yeah.
He's doing David Byrne.
Yeah, so he's just saying like, okay, he's hiring intentionally bad singers, but the singer almost takes over anyway. So yeah, it's he's not loving it, but then he gives it a B because musically not bad. I'm like, all right, Chris Scow, every one of his reviews is a paragraph long and just so funny.
If anybody has metaphors in their reviews, it is
Chris Scow. Oh, it's funny because I'm just pulling this up. Here's his review of Islands, which came out in 1972. Just as I was learning to hear past the bullshit, they upped the ante, so fuck them. I was like, yes, Chris Scow. He is goated right now as far as critics go. I love it.
Well, hello.
How are you?
How are you, JD? That's funny because I mean, that's the kind of critic that you need, though.
Yeah.
I don't
call him out. That's two sentences, and it says it all.
I don't want a critic that just appraises everything. Give me the good, the bad.
Yeah.
Because there's no as much as we loved the Cure album and as much as we loved Stevie Wonder, those two of the highest rated albums that we've talked about on here.
Mm-hmm.
Even we had some critical things to say about.
Yeah, you can't just be. I mean, yeah, there are perfect albums; they do exist, but you can find things to say because I think both of those they were no skip albums. There were things on the Stevie Wonder that we said you could have moved to the B side, to the 7-inch, and moved the 7-inch one to the main album. Right. But in general, yeah, you can have a no skip album where it still has some moments where you're like, okay, this could have been improved upon, things like that. But yeah, Christgau just calls it like it is. He doesn't write long reviews. He doesn't need to, because now, like, I read the Pitchfork review and they spend, 8 paragraphs just talking about the history of this and that. And Christgau's like, no, I'm giving you 5 sentences max, and I'm going to say everything I need to say in those 5 sentences. Yeah. And that's why I love the guy. That's what makes him one of the best rock critics. Why I always search for a Christgau review when we're doing our albums on this, because it's going to give you a laugh if nothing else. Like, even if he likes something, he's still going to find something to talk some trash about, like Paul Simon's wimpy voice. I mean, that is all-time amazing.
Yeah, that's like embedded on my brain now. Every time I see it,
you hear Paul Simon, you're like, it's a little wimpy. Yeah, he's right.
I was scrolling through a couple days ago, and the or You Can Call Me Al song came on. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, he's wimpy.
It's wimpy.
He's wimpy.
This guy's not wrong. He still gave the album an A-. He enjoyed the album for what it was, but he called it wimpy, and he's not wrong. But let's see. All right, so you have your overall thoughts. I wrote my overall thoughts. I didn't keep it as concise as Christgau. So I said it's the kind of album. This is a review I read. This summed it up well. It's simultaneously a 3 out of 10 and an 8 out of 10. So the musicianship, it's incredible. There's your 8 out of 10. The interplay between the musicians, the percussion, the changing time signatures, you have to take your hat off to that. But then the vocals come in and they drag the entire album down. And the lyrics and singing are so bad, I said it's the musical equivalent of attending an amazing concert and the asshole in front of you's talking on his cell phone through the whole show.
It sounds like the opening song.
Yes, that's the song. It's like, oh, damn. Oh, won't this fucker shut up? No, that's just his thing. Damn it. So yeah, and I've been to that concert where the person is on their cell phone and they're just talking and talking and talking. And that's this album. I'm trying to enjoy the good music and this idiot won't shut up. That's my summary of this album.
Have you ever seen the movie Death to Smoochie?
Yes. I have.
Okay, so you remember when the mafia nephew gets put in as Moochie, the other rhino, and he's there with the cowbell, just ruining everything else, which is apparently great in that story. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the vocals in this. It's Moochie.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, that makes sense.
Yep, they're the Death to Smoochie. They're the asshole who's on his cell phone ruining this concert for everybody else. That's the lyrics. So yes, and that kind of makes it easy. So we've talked about our overall thoughts. Now let's hit on best songs. So what's one that stood out for you, Ray?
So as I said before, second place is Thalahun Gunjeet.
Yeah,
I really wanted to like it, but they took it in a direction that kind of sours it. Imagine a painting, if you will, where halfway through they change all the shades and keep painting. It's not the same thing. My favorite one,
bobbing rhythm, that's for sure.
Yeah, especially at the start before everything starts to like catch up to itself.
Yeah,
but
for the cell phone.
My favorite is one that had no vocals, which was The Sheltering Sky. That felt like I could play a video game to that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one a lot.
That was my villain song.
Yeah, I would say that the instrumentals were the ones that kept my interest when that one came on, and I was like, okay, that's a welcome break from the bad vocals that are going on in this song. And when it, the next one was another one that was a instrumental, I was like, okay, I'm more here for that than having to hear that guy sing again.
Yeah.
All right. So any other ones that stood out to you?
No,
yeah, I'm with you. It was hard to find those ones. So Dash, what about you? What stood out for you on this one? What's good?
Discipline was all right. The closing song was I enjoyed it, and there's I don't overall like Frame by Frame, but there are parts of Frame by Frame
Mm-hmm.
that I really enjoyed when they got away from the distorted parts of that beginning of the song,
Yeah.
and it really took you into some actual cool beats and
Mhm.
rhythmic parts of the song. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheltering Sky. That was my I felt like that was where the bad guy from Cobra was sitting there sharpening his knife.
There goes
Got the-
Destro.
it's got the weird and you're just
Yeah,
like
that kind of warbly
How
sound.
are we going to take out the chows?
Like that Cobra Commander.
Yes.
that was pretty good by the way.
So
But yeah, I did it. I think if this thing had just all have been instrumental, I would have been more apt to listen to or to like it more.
I think so. I think that seeing how I saw them play all instrumental, if this singing had started, I would have gone to the lobby. I'd be like, I'll go get myself a Pepsi or something because I can't hear this. I've done that. I've been at concerts, so I'm just like, you know what? This is a good get myself a soda break moment because I can't stand another moment of this. So keeping it instrumental kept me in the room. So and
It sounds like the biggest weakness in this, and I think it's stating the obvious. It's just a lack of proper leadership. And that's how I feel.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
that is.
I'd say so because you bring in an instrumentalist, but when Robert Fripp is kind of the man, you can't really do much unless it's going to go through him.
Right.
So yeah, I'd say that could be the thing, and that's why there's constant flux because he's with all the people that have left this band, he must be a real rough guy to work with. It must come down to Robert Fripp is an asshole in the studio and no one wants to stick around because I mean there's been so many lineups of this band where there's only one piece that stays with it. So he's the Gallagher brothers combined in one man. So I don't know.
He might have some Morrissey in him.
He could definitely because no one sticks around very long. It's like every lineup, the max it lasts is about 3 years, and then they give up and bring another lineup in. So you have someone who's musical genius but difficult to work with. So maybe I haven't read interviews to know
probably why they are musical geniuses. I mean,
yeah.
Think about. I mean, I hate Morse, but he has some good songs and think about a lot of the guys that we do actually have on our Mount Rushmore. The Grammys they've won, but they are just horrible leaders and human beings.
Yeah, well, and that's why the lineups constantly flip around.
There's no perfect human being, and everybody has to have a flaw. Yeah. And an extreme would be a savant. If you're really good at something, usually something else has to be failing. And these really talented, gifted artists, how many artists, not even just in music, they can't function in the world. They're too divergent of thinkers, but when they're in their element, that awesome thing happens. And you see them for that, but you don't see them in their social lives.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I didn't research a lot of Robert Fripp's history, just more of the band in general. So I don't know if he's labeled that way, but I have to assume with the massive amounts of lineup changes that there's something to that. And then on top of that, he's good enough that people will come to him still because he's been playing music over 50 years. So the fact that people will, even though he's had infinite lineups, they'll still try to play with him because I think it's one of those things where the prestige of playing with him is worth the potential headache of dealing with him.
Right.
All right. So I had Frame by Frame. I put it, I think, honestly, after the opening song, I was thinking, am I going to even make it through this album? I think that's in my notes. Like, oh man, am I going to make it through this? And in that one, that's actually sung pretty well, where it's, the guitar and percussion, when it gets into the singing, I think it sounds really, it sounds good. It's got this fluid motion that's created when the singing's going on. It kind of, you can get that bopping of your head going on. And that one, it's funny because April, when I was setting up for the show today, I was playing the album again, as I do, to make sure that, all right, am I solid on my picks? And after the first song, which we'll definitely talk more about, so I'm gonna not even name it yet, but after the first song, she's hearing the first song, she's like, oh damn, because I told her my couch metaphor. She's like, oh, that's the one, right? I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
And then at the next one came on, she's like, that's not so bad. I said, that was my thought. I was like, oh damn, maybe I can survive this album. and then it got into some other songs that made it harder to survive.
Yeah.
And but that one, I was like, okay, that's a solid song. I mean, it could do with a little editing, but when it's prog rock, when it's math rock, editing is not in that vocabulary. So I thought that could have been a good 3-minute song, and instead it's a kind of okay 5-minute song. But the good outweighed the bad, and I thought Discipline, the last two instrumentals, both, they were good. Discipline, it's got energy. That's the only one I could think I would actually put on if I was on a run. The rest, I didn't even attempt it. I'll be honest. Like, normally I give it the run test. I'm like, I just don't want to do that to myself. I have all the notes I need. I don't need to make some sweat notes, so I'm good.
Sweat notes.
So I got close to pressing play. I'm like, no, I'm gonna pass on that. And
yeah.
I was reading about all the different time signatures in Discipline, and it's just like, good Lord, that is insanity what he's doing, and simultaneously having 2 time signatures played at the same time while the drummer tries to keep up with both of them. That drummer, props to him, he is a beast. And that would be the takeaway from the album is amazing drummer.
Is there an origin behind why that song is called Discipline? Because, and I don't intend to be funny when I say this, but that's a lot of discipline to stay synchronized with your group to pull that song off,
I think because the band was going to be named Discipline, maybe this song.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Was what started that. That would be my guess, is this song requiring, because that was his whole thing of calling it Discipline, is it's going to require musical discipline because every band member is going to have to do so much more than just a standard rock band. And you can tell, like, I think about this, and one of the musicians coming from Frank Zappa, and Frank Zappa's also kind of wild experimental stuff, which is why I have never played a full Frank Zappa album. People tell me I need to. I play a song and I'm like, I'm glad you like that. I'm glad it's
I love that
that's
for you.
It's not for me. And then you'll get, like those people who love jazz. And, I got no beef with jazz. I have a beef with jazz fans because they like to talk shit about how your regular radio hit is mundane, and like the same fuckers that say I only watch German expressionist movies. Like, no, you don't. Fuck you. Just because I like Batman doesn't mean that I'm lesser than you.
Right.
And it's like, that's the kind of crowd who would tell me I'm wrong if I because I don't want to listen to something that's jazz, because jazz fans are the most obnoxious of all
so
fans.
It's funny, I have that as a note as well, and the way I put it is, just like jazz, there is the fringe jazz where it gets too random or too off tempo. And this kind of is in that same realm. Any genre of music, the fringe stuff, only the people that like that genre are going to like it, and that's usually where the pretentious idiots come in. Doesn't matter the genre. And jazz, very much the people are like, oh, your stuff is so flat, this is more awesome because I accidentally hit a couple extra keys on the piano while playing it.
That's where that, and it's just like I said, it's not even the music, it's the fans that will love to just that they kind of walk around with the air of superiority, like, oh, I listen only to this jazz. Thelonious Monk is too common for me.
Your jazz,
I can't listen to that. John Coltrane, you simpleton. No. Like, no, it annoys me, and I've talked to a few people.
It's like George Costanza eating a chocolate bar with a knife and fork. What are you going to use your hands?
What
peons over here eating chocolate with their hands. That's what this. And I think the people who would highly defend this album would a lot of them would be in that kind of like I only listen to jazz and watch German expressionist movies kind of crowd.
Yes.
And, good for you. If that's what you like, if you actually enjoy it, but if you're just trying to say it because I listen to The Cure. Oh, The Cure. What? Oh, no. I only listen to free-form jazz experimentation where each song is 24 minutes long minimum. So, yeah.
That was a
New
good
experimental.
Rant. That was a good rant.
This entire album is changed up auto-tune, but it's all the same sound clip of me stepping on a goose's neck while pulling on its feet. Good for you. I love that for you.
I'm glad that means something to you. I hope
I need you to clip that rant because that is the end of the year. That is the end of the year rant right there. I don't know. I honestly don't think anything can top that rant. And I love that. And I do love that for you. I do love that for you. That was your rant because that.
Well, I'm glad I'm good for something. So happy to contribute.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, you get us cooking, and here we go. All right. So it's been a while. We've been enjoying the music too much lately.
I know we have.
Welcome.
And honestly, I'll say this: when I really enjoy something, it's harder for me to just be like, "It's good. I like it." Yeah. It's hard for me to dig in and find the good couch metaphors. Where when I don't, that's when they flow like water. All right. So let's see. I think we've hit our best songs. So now this is probably the hardest category of the day. Best lyrics. Anything, Ray?
Yeah. And I quote, such a powerful statement.
The instrumental says it all.
In the sheltering sky. That's the best lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So what about you, Dash? Any lyrics? I got one. I'll see if you take it.
I don't. I
right.
Again, I don't. It's I'm kind of like, this is one where I did like just the instrumental alone.
Yeah.
I just at no point did I ever go, ooh, those lyrics really jumped out at me. I mean, we've had some bad albums where even I've liked a lot of the lyrics, but this one just no. I'm with Ray on this. I just think when they don't sing it's perfect.
Yeah, I had Mate Kudasai. I thought that one was the most actual lyrical song, and from what I read about, that was what they actually tried to release as a single. They thought that this would be the kind of song that could stand as a single because they looked at bands like Yes, who got very proggy and very strange, but also found songs that could make it to the radio. So Mate Kudasai, and I might have mispronounced it because I haven't played it enough, but it's still by the window pane like the rain that's falling. She waits in the air, Mate Kudasai. She sleeps in a chair in her sad America, which I started to kind of pull my deciphering. And is it talking? Did Mate Kudasai kill herself because she waits in the air? Did she hang herself? I started to think, is that what happened? Is this talking about suicide, but then she sleeps in a chair? Is she asleep? Is she hanging from a rope? I don't know.
I thought she was dreaming.
See, I don't know, but I liked the sleepy, somber tone that it had. I didn't love the song, but I can see how they could attempt to release that as a radio song because it's kind of the only one that really truly could be played on the radio. But that one, yeah, those were the only lyrics I thought. I was like, I'm hard pressed to find any lyrics, but I didn't want to go in and just write nothing. But yes, the no lyrics are the best lyrics when it comes to this album. I'll give it that much. But Mate Kudasai, not bad. I mean, I can at least start thinking, do I need to decipher this one? Do I need to decode what it's saying? And yeah, that's where we go. So now, here we go. It's going to be a fuller category. What are we going to skip on this one? All right, so Ray, what are we skipping?
Me personally, everything but the Sheltering Sky.
Yeah, so the
And
album basically.
All of it, I could take or leave. Most likely leave.
Hmm.
And I guess we already mentioned about it seems like it lacks leadership,
Yeah.
a healthy leadership.
Mhm.
But on top of it, it's almost like, I guess I'll just say the lyrics really take away. It's very frustrating at times
Mhm.
to focus in and absorb a song. I'm sure everybody has tried this at one point or another. If you have two phones or two Walkmans and you try to listen to two songs at the same time, and it doesn't jive. Like you can pull that off with some songs, obviously, but you have two random songs, more like often than not, it doesn't feel right. You can't focus on one or the other because you can't follow the rhythm. You can't, everything is different.
Mhm.
And the vocals to the instrumentals, sometimes the instrumentals just by itself, it's like self-destructive in my mind. And I can't absorb the song. It keeps on. Have you ever like seen a dog or somebody's done this to you? You're about to yawn and you like put your finger in the mouth and you have to stop the yawn. But they haven't yawned yet, so they got to do it again. You keep torturing them that way. That's what this feels like. I keep on wanting to do the thing and follow it, and then it's just interrupted and jarred. And I'm not enjoying that song anymore.
Yeah, it takes you right out. I think.
Yeah.
Well, when we get to I wrote two specific skips, and one of them, that's very true what you're saying. So yes, I hear you on that. So Dash, what's your skips on this?
What? When I turned this on and Elephant Talk came on, I wanted to bang my head into every
it's rough
available sharp instrument. No, I'm kidding. It was bad. I think that was the first time Lorena was like.
That's what April was on the couch listening to with me.
And then
I got my notes on that one. We'll get to them later.
What did I like? I said, it's like a mixture of Buster Poindexter having an argument with somebody. That was my call on Elephant.
But I was
Talk.
not feeling hot.
No, I know. And then Maddie Kudasai in Discipline. I want to skip those frame by frame. I'll skip. I don't know. I'll listen.
We're gonna radio edit that one. Get it down to like tight 3 minutes.
Yeah. Go right to the singing. Just don't give me that distorted.
The singing's that's like the best singing on the album. I would have to say, because he's not doing a David Byrne impression. It's like it's actually a proper sung melody,
proper song. Yes.
And I mean, that one I put in my like list. I actually, the other parts of it aren't enough to deter me from the fact that I think that's good overall. Right. But I think it's comparatively good when we're looking at an album where generally there's not a lot calling my name. So good compared to everything else. So.
And then, and the rest of, I mean, I don't, The Lahoon Ganjit, I just, that's a good head bopping song. So I can just have that as a background song. And then I did like Sheltering Sky. I did like,
that's solid.
It reminds me of a Villain song. I liked it. And then I didn't have a problem.
It's very 80s, so it can work for the G.I. Joe.
Yeah, it was very,
sure.
That's, it's very 80s. Like, that is the best way to describe it. And it was weird. Discipline was fine. It was all right. But I'm skipping Elephant Talk because I just, no. In a world full of maybes, that's a no.
And be quiet, more like
yes. Shut your mouth, elephant. No talking, Dumbo. And and then Maddie Kudasai and then Discipline. I'm skipping all of those.
All right, so you're taking them all out. All right, so for me, let's see. My first one, easily Elephant Talk. So my notes. I cannot express how much I hate this Primus meets the Police meets Talking Head nightmare. If I weren't covering the album, I would have stopped listening as soon as this song began. It's like they took the three bands, they got together, had a baby, and that baby turned out to be the monstrosity from the Dead Alive.
Yes, that's it.
Awful baby. So this is the baby that's born from Elephant Talk. So the monstrosity from Dead Alive, and ultimately the only thing you want to do with that baby is run it over with a lawnmower.
What's that clip taken from?
This from Dead Alive.
Dead Alive.
It looks like Sloth from the Goonies had a child with the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, so there you go. That's from Dead Alive, the first one of the early Peter Jackson movies. And
Interesting.
as I'm hearing the song, I'm thinking that's the baby that was born from this Talking Heads, and definitely Talking Heads and Primus. Even though Primus didn't exist at this time, I can think Primus was probably influenced by this song, and you put Primus into the world, that's another sin, and this is the baby. And if you've seen Dead Alive, it gets run over with the lawnmower.
This is the worst. I mean, well, no.
Does the baby get put in the blender or the
blender?
The blender. That's it.
Thrash from Netflix is the worst movie I've seen in my entire life. This is a close second, though, but I'd still watch this before I ever watched Thrash on Netflix.
Love that. I love Dead Alive. I'm an unapologetic fan of Dead Alive. So
I got something to share here.
Bad movie you love, that's mine.
If J.D. Rosario is still listening, then you should give a comment of what you think of Laser Blast in regards to worst movies that exist. I'll leave it at that. I don't know if he's listening right now, but if he leaves a comment,
let us know if you're listening.
Yeah. There you go. I think we found our third topic for Saturday. What's a terrible movie that you love? And the Dead Alive, that's mine. I mean, I have a shirt that says I kick ass for the Lord, so I love that movie.
Now, see, yeah, Ed,
I kick ass for the Lord.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. I love that movie so much. I could turn it on right now. It's amazing. And I have the shirt.
For me, it's 2002's Kung Pao Enter the Fist. It's so bad, it's good.
Yes, there you
go.
But
it's intentionally
there
bad.
We go. There's the third topic.
Bad.
We're ready.
It is intentionally bad to be intentionally good. And
and then in Dead Alive, he made most of the props in his mom's oven. I mean, if you watch the behind the scenes of that, Peter Jackson made everything by hand, and they were like, he was cooking the parts that he needed in his mom's oven, and she would be like the behind the scenes documentary for that, and for not Meet the Feebles, it's Bad Taste. You see his mom like, you need to give me back the oven so I can make dinner. No, Mom, I'm making props for my movie. So yeah, it's just amazing. Like that's like the punk rockest of movies ever. Like full DIY. I'm going to make this movie and it's going to be the goriest thing that ever existed. So yes.
Sharknado is so bad it's good to me. So that's
but he didn't have to cook. They didn't have to cook the special effects in an oven and make the mom have to wait for dinner. So I mean, Sharknado just used bad CGI, so I mean, but it's good. It's so bad it's good. I agree with that. So yeah, there we go. Third topic, but yeah, Indiscipline. So I thought, all right, it was musically strong. It started out, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it started out strong.
I'm like, all right, I said, okay, this isn't bad, and then like, oh damn, now the stupid singing kicked in again. Thanks. Yeah. So I know that one. It's a note his wife sent to him that he turned into music. I'm like, were you that hard up to find lyrics that you had to take a note that your wife wrote to you?
No, he's just that pretentious. That's what
it's like. Your wife wrote this note about a painting she made, and that's why I like it. It's like, fuck off. That's stupid. But yeah, that's where I say that song should have just been another instrumental, because when you can only get a note, like, I can't think of the lyrics. Oh, my wife wrote me something about this painting. I think we'll do that. So, yeah, that's where, I mean, honestly, I could have listed almost every song on this. And if you're a King Crimson fan, I apologize. It's not for me. You can enjoy your German expressionist movies and your free jazz and enjoy your life. That's all I can say. If you want to come at me like Kate Bush, we expect at least 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, it's got to be at least 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Can't take me. That's an uphill battle. You will be running up that hill.
All right. So here we go. Easy category this time, but the opposite way. Our last couple weeks, so it's like we just loved what we were hearing, but keeping it, returning it to the used bin. What are you doing, Ray?
Vigilante action and throwing it in the garbage so nobody takes it from the used bin.
We're going to let Calcaterra take this one. She's going to let her use one of her wild weapons. Although I didn't buy the vinyl.
Slice and dice.
Thank goodness. I'm happy to say that I did not spend any money besides my Spotify premium subscription to listen to this. So at least there's that. I don't have another vinyl that will never get played again. So Dash, what about you?
This thing is, this is Calcaterra bait right here.
Yep.
This goes straight to the slice and dice, and I never want to see this. I will have flashbacks if I hear warbling therum. What's that therum that
Theremin.
theremin? If I even hear
Yeah.
that, I'm gonna have flashbacks now because I feel like that was they invented the theremin. I have no reason to visit any King Crimson. And there's somebody was on our show not too long ago that was like, "Oh, I love King Crimson." I'm like,
And that's the thing. Maybe there are really good albums. It's hard
Yeah.
to say because this is just one piece of King Crimson that's been around for over 50 years. But this album is ranked as one of their better ones. And I can see, I do understand.
That sounds like a threat. This is one of our good ones.
I understand musically why they're revered. Musically, they are on another level of skill.
yeah.
But it's just not a skill that calls to
Yeah,
me.
the delivery just falls short.
It doesn't call to me, and I can respect everything about it and still not like it. So it's not that I'm saying it's bad music. The music is so strong, but it's just not music that appeals to me. And if that makes me a simpleton, fine. I'm fine with that. You can label me that. If it makes me a 10-year-old boy, again, enjoy yourself.
It's fun to be on a review show where you don't have to be afraid to say you don't like something. I'm just going to throw that out there, Ray.
I'll do you one better. I think you guys should make a YouTube playlist, and over the last 65 episodes, get all the bad songs and then call the playlist Welcome to Hell.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
We can do that. We can get our skips and make a playlist of it.
You share that playlist with me. I want to hear that.
I should use it. I'll use it on one of my runs because I think when I run, the best thing that I can do is not be enjoying what I'm hearing because it becomes white noise. It blends into the background. So I made one of my running playlists I did for one of the marathons I ran was just any random song that got stuck in my head for a full year. That doesn't mean good songs. We're talking commercial jingles. We're talking everything. And the fun thing was I added it to the playlist and I just didn't pay any attention to the playlist until I actually went out on the run. I was like, oh, wow, this sucks. I mean, there was some really bad songs. Anything that just popped in my head. Why I knew half these songs, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, it was fun. And I think that's what I need to do. My next marathon in November, it's going to be a playlist of all our skips. And we'll see if it makes me faster or if I sweatily turn it to another playlist about 10 songs in. Will I beg for mercy?
Be flipping cars and pulling new deadlift world records.
Or will I be just like, ooh, I'm going to PR this marathon because damn, I want to finish fast so the music will stop. So that's it. That'll be my the marathon will be my fastest of all time because I will say you can't end the playlist until you end the marathon. So it'll be 26 flash-like miles because I have to get it out of my system.
There you go.
There. Maybe I will run my greatest marathon of all time. We'll find out. But Ray, you're on to something. My next marathon playlist, and don't let me out on this one. Like my marathon's in November. So in November, the text like, hey, remember, you are playing all your skip songs
I will remind you every Sunday.
This marathon. Yeah. So I'm not doing it for my training runs. I'm not that much of a glutton for punishment. Just for one full marathon.
I will add it to my George R. Martin Sunday post. Remember, George R. Martin, this is your weekly reminder to finish the book. And Ed, make your playlist.
Yes. All right. So next week, it's 2 weeks from now because next week I will be at a concert. So usually when we miss a Wednesday, that's where I'm at. That or a school function, one of the two. So next week, nothing. In 2 weeks, we will be looking at Hum, Downward is Heavenward with Mr. Fred Schwartz. So should be fun. I know one of Hum's albums really well. This one I know a couple songs from. So Should be good. Hum, we talked about when we had on Shallow Water.
Shallow Water.
I said it's like a hum moment, and they said that's what we call them. So yeah, we'll listen to the proper hum moments done by Hum in a couple weeks with Mr. Fred Schwartz. But you have a Kickstarter up right now, so drop that link into the private chat so we can talk a little bit about something that's not King Crimson.
Well, let's do.
I feel like King Crimson should be our big bad evil guy for our D&D.
King Crimson.
Yes, King Crimson should be our.
He's an evil bard that makes your ears bleed.
Yeah.
I like it. All right,
and
so share it in the
its
private
super
chat.
attack is when it sings.
Anytime.
Right.
It's like that scene when they're about to encounter Gandalf the White. Do not let him speak.
Yeah.
Do not let him speak.
Yeah. Worm tongue. All right. Let me see. Here we go. Share screen and the Madcaps 1 through 3. And I need to back it, but I was going to wait till tonight because I always wait till if someone's going to be on the show, I wait till then and back it
kind,
right
man.
after.
Thank you.
Not at this point because I don't need anyone getting my credit card information. Some angry King Crimson fan's going to be like, "Fuck that guy! I'm buying a car right now with his credit card."
Why don't you hit play and go full screen? It's a 45-second trailer.
All right, let me hit the full screen on this. Oh, hold on. Wrong.
You got to hit play first for the option to come up.
Got it. Okay, let me do that.
Get ready to.
While making contact with our friends Chazgo and Sarlacc, we crossed paths with an undead outbreak in Ivywood. This led us down a rabbit hole involving a local drug called Weave, bandits, kidnapped citizens, and an ominous book which I was able to gather critical information from. Time was not on our side, and we were not the most qualified to address this urgency.
We need to blow up the distillery.
Can't hold this spell much longer! The necromancer is mine. I am your beacon!
Awesome.
I am your beacon. I love the.
Yes.
So shout out to Cable Foster and Michael Towson. They provided the voices for that trailer. They did a great job.
Yeah.
This is the final issue of this miniseries. I've been having a lot of fun for the last 3 Aprils, including this one, getting each issue out. This is not my day job, and it's my first time on the creative side of a comic book.
Yeah.
I've been very grateful for all the talent that has bought into this story and stuck their neck out, put their name on this brand. Who am I in the grand scheme of the comics industry? So little old me, I've been getting a lot of support readers, repeat backers, and everybody's really, really liking this story. For anybody who knows nothing about this story, this miniseries rather takes place in one night. It is about these 4 friends who get back together in their hometown for the first time in a while. They're in the wrong place at the wrong time. They find themselves helping the local guards stave off Ground Zero in an attempted undead outbreak. It's led to believe this has something to do with a local drug issue, and one thing leads to another. And the further we get into this, the more exhausted and tired they become doing these extra things, extra feats, and they end up freeing some citizens at a bandit's hideout. And by the time issue 3 starts, it's revealed that there's a necromancer attempting to put a curse on their hometown by sunrise. So with very little time, so little that they can't even go and get help, they are going to see if they can stop this bad thing from happening. One of the cool things I like about the story dynamic is all friends, when you are around your friends, you attempt to live up to how they view you. So this scenario, they are going to attempt to perform the best. They are not the mightiest of people in the realm. This really boils down to, can this evil, sinister plot in play be intercepted by these 4 individuals who are not they're not the best, let alone in their best shape or well rested or anything to that dynamic. There's not much shown of the antagonist. This cover shows her. It's an elven necromancer, which is kind of a walking contradiction. You don't. Issue 1 and 2 show nothing about her. So this is going to hit hard. It's going to hit real fast. This world is going to feel like it exists before the story starts, and it will feel like it exists after. Lots of great covers, lots of great talent. Jay Sloan, Mike Mez Phillips, Victor Medina. That's an homage to Final Fantasy for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah. So that's like the battle map. Anybody's ever played that. This is going to be Lava Foil by Fish Lee.
Nice.
And then underneath that by Pog's art, colored by Dave Kemp. That is going to be glow in the dark. Anything white is going to be glow in the dark there.
Nice.
So I am very excited. We got a couple interior pages. There's page 1. A lot of people were asking if Chazgo's three-eyed albino raven MX was going to be in it. So one of the pages shows that. And there we have page 3. There's a lot of action, but I don't want to give any spoilers. I don't even have dialogue on the pages this time.
Nice.
Just for
Yeah, I
reason.
see that. That's keep it spoiler free. That's how I do.
This one it was a hard time picking which pages to show. So I think those were the least of spoilers. So there's a lot going on, and I guarantee you, anybody who knows nothing about this book, if you go through all 3 issues, I guarantee you will feel like you read a complete story. And it's been torture not being able to talk about this.
I'm sure you got to.
We have a lot of tiers. All of the covers, as I've already mentioned. Obviously, the Lava Foil cover is going to cost a bit more, and also the Glow in the Dark is a premium price as well. The manufacturing cost, there's more resources going into it, of course. If you scroll a bit further, there is a cover, which we're calling the Trilogy of Covers. I believe there's a sketch cover there, of course, and you can get all 3 issues, but with sketch covers only, which is awesome. But that picture right there, so like I was saying, special edition trilogy, brand new covers. When you assemble them, it makes this image. It depicts the final act in the last issue. You can see it as my background as well.
Yep.
I think that'll look really good. Triple frame.
Oh yeah,
hanging on your wall.
Really cool.
You can get all 3 issues with the main covers on them. There's back issues. If you keep going, there's a couple more. That right there, that trilogy, that's the Jenna Stark collection. Jenna Stark is the only individual who has made a variant cover of each issue. Okay. So the main difference is during the second campaign, that stained glass image up there, that was originally metal foil.
Oh, nice.
For this one, it's not metal foil. It's just to keep the prices reasonable for buying a trilogy. Underneath that, we have, I think that's the catch-up, so all 3 physical. If you like more than one cover, we have an option where you get to pick 3. Obviously, the Lava Foil and the Glow in the Dark do not apply. If you like RPGs, we have character sheets of all 4 characters, adapted from 5th edition, or adapted to, rather, 5th edition D&D. They're level 5 characters. They're pretty similar to the comic equivalent. Anybody who's never played D&D before, but we're always curious. This is Michael Towson. He's a professional dungeon master. Dash has played alongside him a few times as well. And this guy, he's a professional voice actor. He's one of the voices in my trailer, but he's done work for William Shatner, Disney. Anybody who knows the kids show from over a decade back called Talking Tom and Friends, he was Talking Tom, the raccoon.
Okay.
He has a talent of getting somebody within 10 minutes knowing how to play the game and have them in a good time, up to snuff and enjoying themselves.
Yes.
Any money that goes towards that tier goes to him. It's just to pay for his services. I don't get anything from it. Here we have the enthusiast tier. You could pick any one cover and any one t-shirt, not including glow in the dark or lava foil. Underneath that, we've got blankets, all 3 main covers for all 3 issues. Underneath that, you can get all 7 covers, glow in the dark and lava foil included. 2 people backed that already. I was beside myself.
Nice.
So I was
gotta
really
love
happy
when those ones go.
Yeah. And then the one underneath it, somebody backed this one, issue 3's
Sweet.
complete collection. That's everything I've set up to this point, including a pinup and a map of where this story takes place. And I don't think anybody backed this last one underneath. It's the Omnibus. Very similar, except there's a copy of issue 1 and 2 as well.
Okay. So a full catch up plus everything. So
yes. And then the add-ons, they're pretty straightforward. The map I mentioned, we have the Sean Langley colored by Dan Kemp. For $5 more underneath, you can get that plus a black and white copy of it. Underneath that, we have a metal foil poster. That was one of the variant covers of issue 2, and people loved it so much. I made it metal foil as a pinup then, but we brought it back. That was Jay Sloan and Dave Kemp, their combination of talents. But they made a cover for issue 3 as well. So underneath, you'll see we made that a metal foil pinup as well. Those two guys do a good job working together. There's the 3 different T-shirt options. You can pick your size and T-shirt color depending on which image you're using. We have secret stretch goals. We have an homage style pinup by John Zamar. It looks pretty awesome. It looks like the old style modules. When we hit $3,000, I will reveal what the second stretch goal is.
Very nice.
And then, of course, the team, myself, interior artist Victor Medina, main colorist Dan Kemp, and Micah Myers doing the lettering. Shout out to Phil Rosser of Philbo Publishing, giving me this opportunity. It is public that my book is going into distribution to local comic shops around North America. I am beside myself and very, very grateful. So shout out to Phil accordingly. And all in all, we've got 9 days left. We are well past funding. If you back now, you will be getting this stuff. You will be getting, what do we have here? I see a couple of comments coming in. Oh, just advertising. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
That is the link.
Yes.
I will also put it on the YouTube video itself, so you can grab it from that, and that becomes a clickable link. So if you don't see it here, it'll be on the Facebook version of this as well as the YouTube. So grab it there. I enjoyed issue 1. I still haven't read 2 because I'm just going to wait for 3 and read them all together. I'm going to binge it.
Man.
So yeah, issue 1, you can go on my YouTube and I did a review of it. So you can see that on there. So,
but yeah, in a nutshell, we've got monsters, magic, melee, mayhem, and a big macabre of mischief, and a bunch of other words that start with the letter M, I'm sure. But all in all, it's complete. The story is its own thing. If you've got a tight core of friends that you don't get to see as much as you used to, I guarantee you will appreciate this in a fly-on-the-wall perspective.
mm-hmm.
It's a great time. Back now, I guarantee you will at least get your money's worth.
Yes, I can second that. It's good stuff. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm waiting to get issue 3 so I can just reread issue 1, 2, and 3 all in one shot.
I'm trying to upgrade.
Now that I'm not sharing it, I can grab my copy of it as well.
Well, that's very kind. Thanks, guys. That's very, very nice.
Oh, I'm trying to update my thing, and it says everything's all gone.
Yeah, let me see something because I'm going in to back it right now, and I'll tell you what it says. So, yeah, definitely get in there, back that one, and there we go.
And I went to the wrong one. That's why.
Yep, I see it all there.
Manage my.
Yeah, man. I've been having a lot of fun with this, and one thing I like to do, anybody listening, if you want to find me on Facebook or Instagram, I'm Raymond the DM. DM is short for Dungeon Master, or DM Ray on Facebook. I like to review comics. I like giving back. I just did my 49th review for Matthew Schofield, who is editor of The Simpsons for years. He's been editing Simpsons episodes.
Nice.
And the 50th one, I'm going to do something a little special. It might come out tonight. We'll see how much energy I have in me. I'm gonna press and see if I can get it done.
Yes.
There is an entire world of stories out there that aren't bound to formulas or due dates, and because of that, more creativity blooms from them. So anybody, I'm a big fan of supporting indie comics, and anybody listening, if you're looking for inspiration, check me out on Facebook. Check out my reels. I've got literally 49 reviews of indie comics, all different types, and it's awesome. Always looking to review others. Anybody listening, including yourself, Ed. I don't think I've reviewed anything of yours.
I don't think you've reviewed any of mine, so.
But you've done one for me. I'm happy to do one for you.
Sounds good.
There's some cool stuff coming out. I've also, one is official. I'm writing a short story for Bad Dog Inc. for Tom Hutchinson, and there's another one I can't say out loud yet, but I'm looking forward to doing that one as well. All because I started reviewing comics and wanted to do my own, and
awesome.
It's really cool to get into this network, this cool little supportive niche of the world. I'm a fan.
Sounds good. So I'll definitely get you a copy because I'll be launching my Kickstarter in about a month. So I'm going to be going on a wild campaign to try to post a new something every day to hopefully make this next issue blow up. So that's the goal. And I have backed my copy of the book.
Thank you very much. That's
looking forward to it. And then, like I said, then I'll binge the rest of it. So for now, you just told us where to find you. And we'll be back. Dash will be joining me on Saturday, and we'll be talking about that. Like I said, I couldn't remember what my third topic was, but now I know. Bad movies that you love, because I'm all about the horribleness of Dead Alive. I love that movie too much, and I'll be wearing my I Kick Ass for the Lord shirt, because how can you not if you're covering Dead Alive or talking about movies that are garbage that you love? So yeah. All right. So until then, have a great rest of your week. We will see you on Saturday. Then Dash and I will see you in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Covering Hum, and I think we got one commercial to play before we go, and then we will close things out. So let me grab the con trailer.
Hey heroes, cosplayers, and pop culture fans, are you ready to assemble for the ultimate geek weekend? The Hall of Heroes Comic-Con is invading Elkhart, Indiana with 2 explosive days of comics, stars, and non-stop fun. Join us Saturday, May 30th and Sunday, May 31st, 2026 at the Northern Indiana Event Center in Elkhart. Doors open at 10 a.m. both days. VIP early entry at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. We're rolling out a massive lineup of legends. Meet Eric Estrada from Chips and Fallout, Dirk Benedict from the A-Team and Battlestar Galactica, Tara Reid from American Pie and Sharknado, Catherine Cavadini, voice of Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls, Kel Mitchell from All That, Kevin and Kel and Mystery Men, horror icon Tony Moran, the original Michael Myers in Halloween, and more. Plus, top comic artists including Arthur Sidem, Marvel Zombies and Deadpool, John Kramer from Batman and Wonder Woman, Keith Pollard, a legendary Marvel artist on Spider-Man and Thor, and more. Scott Rosama, Stuart Sager, and others. Get autographs, photo ops, and chats with the stars and creators who shaped your favorites. The floor is packed with over 150 vendors, artists, and cosplayers offering exclusive comics, collectibles, original art, and merch. Enjoy cosplay contests for kids and adults with great prizes, live Q&A panels, artist showcases, interactive zones, and family-friendly fun all weekend. And the excitement goes live. Madness Entertainment Group is broadcasting straight from the con floor all weekend on YouTube, Build, and Rumble. Catch every moment as it happens, then relive it anytime with the full shows available later on Med TV on Roku. Grab your tickets today at hohcomiccon.org. Hall of Heroes Comic-Con, May 30th and 31st, 2026. Northern Indiana Event Center, Elkhart, Indiana. We'll see you there, heroes. This ad was created by Nim on behalf of Madness Entertainment Group and Hall of Heroes Comic-Con.
All right. Have a great rest of your week, and see you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday.